You know that feeling, don't you? That quiet worry that maybe the best years are behind you, especially when it comes to feeling truly vital, truly yourself. Perhaps things aren't quite working the way they used to. Those moments of spontaneity feel like a distant memory, and there's a frustrating sense that aging means an inevitable decline in certain areas of life. It's a painful reality that many men face as they get older, a feeling that parts of their body are simply giving up, regardless of how young they feel inside. You might worry about intimacy, about connection, about feeling masculine and strong. It's a heavy burden to carry, that feeling of things winding down. But what if I told you that this decline isn't always inevitable? What if there was a simple daily approach that could defy expectations, even into your 90s? As a penis surgeon, I've seen it all. I've had countless conversations in my consulting room, listened to worries, and performed procedures aimed at restoring function and confidence. And I've seen many men feel like their options are limited, that medication is the only answer, or that they just have to accept things as they are. It's heartbreaking to see someone feel resigned to losing a fundamental part of who they are. But then, there are patients who surprise you. Patients who walk in with a vitality that belies their years, carrying themselves with a confidence that makes you pause. One such patient was a gentleman I saw recently, just shy of his 91st birthday. He wasn't coming in for the reasons you might expect for someone his age. He was simply seeking advice on optimizing his already impressive health. And what struck me most, beyond his general vigor, was his report of continued, robust sexual function, something many men half his age only dream of. Naturally, my curiosity was piqued. What was his secret? It wasn't some exotic treatment or expensive pill. It was a simple, consistent daily ritual he had followed for decades. A set of practices so fundamental, yet so often overlooked in our modern rush for quick fixes. He shared his routine with me, and honestly, it was eye-opening. It wasn't just about one thing. It was a combination of simple habits woven into the fabric of his day. In this video, I want to pull back the curtain and share the core elements of this incredible man's daily ritual. We're going to look at the practical steps he takes, the principles he lives by, and how these incredibly simple habits contribute to not just overall health, but specifically to maintaining powerful blood flow and vitality where it matters most. This isn't about selling you anything. It's about sharing wisdom I gained from a man who is living proof that age does not have to dictate your ability to perform and connect. Watch to the end, because there's something truly surprising about how achievable this is for anyone. Let's start with the first crucial element of his daily ritual, something he begins almost the moment he wakes up. It's deceptively simple, something many of us rush past or ignore entirely. This gentleman, Mr. Harrison, as I'll call him, explained that his morning starts not with coffee, not with checking emails or the news, but with movement. And not just any movement, but a specific type of movement designed to gently wake up his entire circulatory system. He described it as getting the pipes warm before anything else. He would spend about 15 to 20 minutes engaging in what he called conscious movement. This wasn't strenuous exercise. He wasn't hitting the gym at 5 a.m. It was more like a deliberate, slow flow of motion. He would start with deep breathing exercises while still in bed, focusing on expanding his abdomen and chest fully, then exhaling slowly. He said this helps to flood the system with oxygen right from the start. Think about it. When you're sleeping, your breathing is often shallow. This deep breathing practice is like hitting a reset button for your oxygen levels, which are crucial for every cell in your body, including those in your blood vessels. Following the breathing, he would get out of bed and perform a series of gentle stretches and movements. These weren't complicated yoga poses. They were simple, fluid movements like arm circles, leg swings, torso twists, and gentle spinal rolls. He emphasized doing these slowly, paying attention to how his body felt and moving through any stiffness. He wasn't pushing through pain, but rather coaxing his body awake. This gentle movement is key because it helps to get the blood flowing smoothly throughout the body. Think of blood flow like water in a garden hose. If the hose is kinked or constricted, the water pressure drops. Similarly, if your blood vessels aren't supple and open, blood flow is restricted. Gentle movement helps to relax and open those vessels, ensuring that oxygenated blood can reach every extremity, including the most vital ones for achieving and maintaining an erection. Mr. Harrison understood intuitively what medical science confirms. Good circulation is paramount. He'd also incorporate some light dynamic movements that mimic everyday activities. Reaching overhead, bending down carefully as if to tie a shoe, stepping side to side. This wasn't about building big muscles, it was about maintaining mobility and flexibility, which are essential for healthy blood flow. Stiff muscles and joints can actually impede circulation. By keeping his body limber, he was ensuring that his blood could flow unimpeded. He told me he pictured his blood flowing like a river, and his movements were like clearing away any debris or obstacles. This mental image seemed to help him stay consistent with the practice. This morning ritual often included a short, brisk walk outdoors if the weather permitted, even just for 10 minutes. He'd walk with purpose, swinging his arms, breathing deeply. He felt the fresh air, and the slight exertion further energized his circulation. If the weather was bad, he might march in place vigorously for a few minutes, or use a stationary bike at a very low resistance. The goal was consistent. Low impact movement, first thing. Why is this specific morning movement ritual so effective? Several reasons. Firstly, it helps to lower blood pressure. When you wake up, blood pressure can sometimes surge. Gentle movement helps to regulate this, promoting healthier blood vessel function over time. Secondly, it stimulates the production of nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a molecule that helps relax and widen blood vessels, which is absolutely critical for achieving an erection. It's how medications like Viagra work, by enhancing the effects of nitric oxide. Regular, gentle exercise, especially early in the day, encourages your body to produce more of this vital compound. Thirdly, it improves insulin sensitivity. Poor insulin sensitivity, often associated with type 2 diabetes, damages blood vessels and is a major contributor to erectile dysfunction. Gentle morning movement helps your body use insulin more effectively, protecting your vascular health. Mr. Harrison's commitment to this simple morning movement ritual wasn't about breaking a sweat or burning calories. It was a conscious act of preparing his body for the day, specifically focusing on optimizing his circulation right from the start. He saw it as tending to the garden of his body. He wasn't training for a marathon, he was training for life, and for maintaining the vitality he cherished. He said it set the tone for the day, making him feel more energized and capable. And crucially, he did it every single day, without fail. Consistency was the key, he emphasized. Even on days he felt a bit stiff or tired, he would do a modified, even gentler version, but he never skipped it entirely. This dedication to getting his blood flowing first thing was, in his mind, the foundational step in his daily ritual for maintaining rock-hard erections well into his 10th decade. He wasn't relying on a pill. He was relying on his body's own incredible ability to heal and perform when given the right conditions. He coupled this morning movement with a specific morning beverage, which he described as a blood flow booster. This wasn't coffee, though he enjoyed a single cup later. His first drink of the day was a large glass of water with the juice of half a lemon and a small piece of fresh ginger grated into it. He'd let the ginger steep for a few minutes before drinking it warm. He swore by this concoction. From a medical perspective, it makes sense. Hydration is crucial for blood volume and flow. Dehydration makes blood thicker, harder to pump. Lemon water aids hydration and is alkaline forming in the body, which can have subtle positive effects on overall health. Ginger, however, is particularly interesting. It's a known vasodilator, meaning it helps to open up blood vessels. It also has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, both of which are vital for maintaining healthy blood vessels over time. Inflammation and oxidative stress damage the delicate lining of the blood vessels, hindering their ability to relax and contract properly. By incorporating ginger daily, Mr. Harrison was proactively protecting his vascular health. He called this his internal shower, clearing out the cobwebs and getting things moving internally, just as his physical movements did externally. So, the first part of his ritual was this powerful 1-2 punch. Gentle morning movement to awaken the circulatory system and stimulate nitric oxide, followed by a simple, warming beverage designed to boost blood flow and protect vessels from within. He spent about 30 to 40 minutes on this whole morning routine, considering it a non-negotiable part of his day, like brushing his teeth. He wasn't rushing, he was investing in his body's ability to function optimally. He said this wasn't about performance anxiety, it was about feeling healthy and vital in all aspects of his life, and the ability to achieve strong erections was a natural byproduct of that overall health. It was a powerful reminder that sexual health is not separate from general health, it is deeply intertwined. This focus on morning circulation was just the beginning of his layered approach, but it laid the essential groundwork. Now that we've discussed his foundational morning routine of movement and his special drink, let's move on to the next critical components of his daily ritual that further supported his incredible vitality. Now that we've discussed Mr. Harrison's vital morning routine of gentle movement and his blood-boosting drink, let's talk about what he fueled his body with throughout the day. His diet wasn't restrictive or complicated. It was focused on foods that actively support vascular health and overall vitality. He called his approach eating for the pipes. He understood that what goes into your body directly impacts the health of your blood vessels, which, as we know, are fundamental to achieving and maintaining erections. Healthy blood vessels mean strong blood flow. Simple as that. His diet was primarily plant-based, not exclusively vegetarian, but with a heavy emphasis on vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whole grains. He ate moderate amounts of lean protein, mostly fish and some poultry, and very little red meat or processed foods. He explained that he wasn't a fanatic, but he was consistent. He ate this way because it made him feel good, and he had learned over the years which foods seemed to give him energy and which ones left him feeling sluggish. This naturally led him towards foods that are high in fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, all of which are superstars for cardiovascular health. He particularly focused on foods known to boost nitric oxide production. Remember, nitric oxide is the molecule that relaxes blood vessels. Foods rich in nitrates like leafy greens, spinach, kale, arugula, beets, and celery are converted by the body into nitric oxide. Mr. Harrison ate a large salad packed with different greens almost every day. He'd often add beets to his meals or drink a small glass of beet juice a few times a week. He said he noticed a difference in his energy levels and overall circulation when he consistently included these foods. Think of these foods as natural Viagra for your blood vessels. They help them do their job more effectively by providing the raw materials for nitric oxide. He also consumed plenty of healthy fats, primarily from sources like avocados, olive oil, nuts, especially walnuts and almonds, and fatty fish like salmon. These healthy fats are essential for maintaining the flexibility and integrity of cell membranes, including those in the lining of your blood vessels. They also help reduce inflammation throughout the body, which is crucial because chronic inflammation damages blood vessels over time. He used olive oil liberally in his cooking and on his salads, and snacked on a small handful of nuts daily. He didn't fear fat. He chose the right kinds of fat. Fiber was another non-negotiable part of his diet. He got fiber from whole grains, legumes like lentils and beans, fruits, and vegetables. Fiber helps manage blood sugar levels, lowers cholesterol, and supports a healthy gut microbiome. A healthy gut is increasingly being linked to overall health, including cardiovascular health and reduced inflammation. By keeping his blood sugar stable and cholesterol in check, he was further protecting his blood vessels from damage. He said he felt lighter and more energetic when his digestion was working well, which he attributed to his high-fiber diet. His meals were regular and moderately sized. He didn't skip meals or overeat. He listened to his body's hunger cues and stopped when he was comfortably full. He ate slowly and chewed his food thoroughly, which aids digestion and nutrient absorption. This mindful approach to eating wasn't just about nutrition. It was part of his overall philosophy of respecting his body and providing it with the fuel it needed to thrive. He wasn't counting calories or macros. He was focusing on nutrient density and listening to his body. He also emphasized the importance of hydration throughout the day, not just his morning lemon ginger water. He drank plain water consistently, aiming for several glasses between meals. Staying well hydrated is a simple yet powerful way to support healthy blood volume and ensure smooth blood flow. He kept a water bottle nearby as a constant reminder. Beyond diet, Mr. Harrison placed a significant emphasis on managing stress. He understood that chronic stress is a silent killer, and it's particularly detrimental to vascular health. Stress hormones like cortisol can constrict blood vessels and increase blood pressure, directly hindering blood flow. He had developed simple strategies over the years to keep stress at bay. One was spending time in nature every day. Even a short walk in his garden or sitting on his porch observing the birds was enough to ground him and reduce feelings of anxiety. He found immense peace and stress relief in connecting with the natural world. Another stress management technique he employed was mindfulness and gratitude. He would take a few moments several times a day to simply pause, focus on his breath, and acknowledge things he was grateful for. It could be something as small as the warmth of the sun on his skin or the taste of his morning tea. This simple practice helped shift his focus away from worries and towards appreciation, altering his physiological response to stress. He said this mental practice was just as important as his physical habits. It kept his mind clear and calm, which in turn helped keep his body relaxed, including his blood vessels. He wasn't pretending problems didn't exist, but he wasn't letting them consume him. He also prioritized sufficient quality sleep. He aimed for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night. Sleep is when the body repairs and regenerates, including the lining of the blood vessels. Poor sleep is linked to increased inflammation, higher blood pressure, and impaired hormonal function, all factors that negatively impact erectile function. He had a consistent bedtime routine, kept his bedroom dark and cool, and avoided screens in the hour before sleep. He saw sleep as essential maintenance for his body, allowing it to perform optimally during the day and night. He said he noticed a significant difference in his energy and overall vitality when he was well rested. Combining these elements, his diet focused on vascular health, his stress management practices, and his commitment to sleep, created a powerful synergy. It wasn't just one magical pill or one miracle food. It was the cumulative effect of these simple, consistent choices made daily. He wasn't striving for perfection, but for consistency in the right direction. He understood that building and maintaining health, including sexual vitality, was an ongoing process, a marathon, not a sprint. He wasn't doing this ritual for erections, although that was a wonderful outcome. He was doing it to feel truly alive and well at every level. This holistic approach, addressing his body, mind, and spirit through simple, daily habits, was the true secret. Next, we'll dive into some final pieces of his ritual and bring it all together, including that surprising element I mentioned earlier. Building on his morning ritual, nutrient-rich diet, stress management, and quality sleep, Mr. Harrison incorporated a few more key components into his daily life that he believed were essential for his continued vigor. One he spoke about with particular enthusiasm was the power of social connection and purpose. He wasn't isolated. He actively engaged with his community, his family, and his friends. He volunteered at a local library a couple of times a week, which gave him a sense of contribution and kept his mind sharp through interacting with people and managing tasks. He had regular phone calls or visits with his children and grandchildren. He met up with friends for walks or coffee. Maintaining these social ties is incredibly important, and not just for emotional well-being. Loneliness and social isolation are linked to increased stress, inflammation, and higher risks of cardiovascular disease, all factors that can negatively impact circulation and erectile function. By staying connected, Mr. Harrison was nurturing his emotional health, which in turn supported his physical health. He said that feeling needed and valued gave him energy and a reason to stay active and engaged with life. This sense of purpose was, in his view, a vital nutrient for the soul and the body. He also maintained a curious and active mind. He was an avid reader, always learning something new. He enjoyed puzzles and games that challenged his cognitive abilities. Keeping the brain healthy is linked to overall vitality and can even influence hormonal balance and nerve function, which are indirectly related to sexual health. He saw mental activity as another form of exercise, keeping his neurological pathways firing. Another fascinating part of his ritual was his relationship with cold exposure. Now, before you cringe, he wasn't jumping into ice baths every morning. His approach was much more gradual and integrated. He would finish his shower each morning with 30 to 60 seconds of cold water. He started small, just a few seconds on his legs, and gradually increased the duration and covered more of his body. He said it felt invigorating and left him feeling more alert and alive. From a physiological standpoint, controlled cold exposure can improve circulation by causing blood vessels to constrict and then dilate as the body warms up, essentially giving them a workout. It can also reduce inflammation and boost mood. He saw this as a quick, powerful way to shock his system into alertness and improve vascular tone. He admitted it wasn't the most pleasant part of his ritual, but he felt the benefits were well worth the brief discomfort. Mr. Harrison also spoke about the importance of simply enjoying life. He made time for hobbies and activities that brought him joy, listening to music, working in his garden, which also provided physical activity and stress relief, and spending time with loved ones. He didn't let the worries of aging consume him. He focused on what he could do and what brought him happiness. This positive mindset is incredibly powerful. Chronic negativity and worry can contribute to stress and its detrimental effects on the body. By cultivating joy and gratitude, he was creating an internal environment more conducive to health and vitality. He wasn't rigid about his ritual to the point of it becoming a chore. He allowed for flexibility. If he was traveling, he might modify his morning movement, but he wouldn't skip it. If he was out for a meal, he'd make healthy choices, but didn't fuss over every single ingredient. It was about the overall pattern and consistency, not rigid perfection. He understood that life happens, and stressing about minor deviations would defeat the purpose. So, when you look at Mr. Harrison's daily ritual, it wasn't built on expensive treatments or radical lifestyle changes. It was a layered approach combining fundamental health practices, morning movement for circulation, hydrating with beneficial additions, a nutrient-dense diet focused on vascular health, proactive stress management, prioritizing sleep, maintaining social connections and purpose, incorporating mild cold exposure, and cultivating a positive mindset. Each element supported the others, creating a foundation of robust health that naturally supported excellent blood flow and, consequently, strong erectile function, even at 90. The surprising element I mentioned at the beginning. It's how incredibly simple and accessible these practices are. There's no magic pill, no expensive gadget. It's the consistent application of basic health principles that we often overlook in our search for a quick fix. Mr. Harrison didn't discover a hidden secret. He simply lived the secrets that nature and common sense have provided all along. His story is powerful because it's proof that age doesn't automatically mean losing your vitality. It means being more intentional about how you care for yourself. He wasn't lucky. He was disciplined and consistent in ways that truly matter for long-term health. So, what can we take away from Mr. Harrison's remarkable example? It's that taking control of your health, focusing on the fundamentals, and being consistent can yield incredible results, defying the typical expectations of aging. You don't have to implement everything overnight, but you can start somewhere. Add a few minutes of gentle movement to your morning. Incorporate more leafy greens or beets into your diet. Find simple ways to manage stress. Prioritize your sleep. Connect with people. Remember, small changes made consistently over time can have a profound impact. You don't need to be 90 to start building these habits. The best time to start is always now. It's about making a commitment to yourself and your well-being. Mr. Harrison wasn't just living a long life. He was living a vital life, full of energy, purpose, and connection, including maintaining a part of his life that many men feel they have to say goodbye to far too soon. His daily ritual wasn't just about physical function, it was about embracing life fully at every age. Think about which part of his ritual resonates most with you, which one feels like something you could realistically incorporate into your own day starting this week. Maybe it's the morning movement, the focus on leafy greens, or finding a few minutes for gratitude. Start there, be consistent, and trust in your body's incredible capacity to respond when you give it the care it deserves. Remember, you have the power to influence your health and vitality regardless of your age. Mr. Harrison is a living testament to that. It's about making conscious choices every day that support your body and mind. Don't underestimate the power of simple, consistent habits. They compound over time, creating a foundation of health that can help you maintain your energy, your mental clarity, your digestion, and yes, your erectile function. I hope Mr. Harrison's story has been as inspiring for you as it was for me. It shifted my perspective, even as a surgeon, reminding me that the most powerful interventions are often the ones that empower individuals to take charge of their own health through simple, daily practices. If this video resonated with you, and if Mr. Harrison's ritual has given you something to think about or try, please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're considering trying or what habits you already practice that contribute to your vitality. Your experiences can help others in this community. And if you found this information helpful, please give the video a like. It helps more people see it and benefit from these insights. Also, if you're interested in more practical advice and real-life examples for living a vibrant, healthy life at any age, make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. I'm committed to sharing information that can empower you to live your best life. Thank you for watching and spending this time with me. Remember, age is just a number. How you live that age is up to you. Keep moving, keep nourishing your body, keep your mind calm, and keep connecting. Live your best life at every age.